While all of us spent majority of last year waiting for the Jimny to become official, Maruti Suzuki was cooking up something a little extra on the side. And it's this, the all-new Fronx, which may seem like a small crossover at first glance, but it is actually based on the new Baleno. Although that's not a bad thing at all, because the new Baleno, as we all know, is a pretty impressive car, and going by what we have seen here so far, the Fronx has all the makings to become just as popular and yet another strong seller for Maruti. So let's take a look. The Fronx is part of Maruti's SUV and crossover lineup, so it sits below the Brezza and the Jimny. Naturally, it's got a lot of the butch ingredients to make it look more substantial than the Baleno. Speaking of which, you get a large front bumper with these integrated LED headlights, a grille that's more in your face, and lastly, a healthy dose of black cladding all around this car. I like how the Fronx looks overall, and this is my favorite angle of the car. It's a genuinely good looking car, and I think Maruti has done a good job of differentiating it from the Baleno. I especially love the detailing on these tail lights and the slim light bar that connects both of them. In terms of size and road presence, the Fronx is 3995mm in length, 1765mm in width, and it's 1550mm off the ground. Now, when you compare these with the Baleno, you will see that the Fronx is a tad bit more substantial, although the real world difference in size will not be perceptible. Also, the wheelbase on the Fronx and the Baleno is identical, so it's not like you're going to get more room inside the cabin. Speaking of which, the Fronx shares its cabin with the Baleno, and you will notice that as soon as you step in. So everything from the steering wheel, the center console, the dials and even the seats are shared with the Baleno. Now I do appreciate the look and feel of the Fronx. The fact remains that a lot of these elements are shared with other similarly priced Maruti cars. In fact, the basic design, the textures and the colors used in the Fronx, the Baleno and the Brezza are all the same. So a little originality would have been nice, especially considering how much work has gone into designing the exterior of this car. So there are 5 variants on offer, including Sigma, Delta, Delta Plus, Zeta and Alpha. And as for the features, no matter what variant you choose, you will get front airbags, ESP, hill roll assist, climate control, keyless entry and split folding rear seats as standard. Go for the most expensive Alpha variant and you will get all the new age features. There's wireless charger, cruise control, 16-inch dual-tone alloy wheels and a feature-loaded infotainment system with a 9-inch screen, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also get side and curtain airbags, tilt and telescopic adjustment for the steering wheel, height adjustment for the driver's seat, rear AC vents, push-button start, leather-wrapped steering wheel and LED headlights as standard on this top-spec variant. Again, the engine and gearbox options are all too familiar. So you get a 1.2 liter naturally aspirated engine with either a 5-speed manual or a 5-speed AMT gearbox. But the big news here is the fact that this 1 liter BoosterJet turbocharged engine has made a comeback with the Fronx, and it's what we have here. Now this engine is turbocharged and we have seen it earlier in the old Baleno RS. It makes nearly 100 horsepower and 150 Nm of torque. In the old Baleno RS, you could have had this engine with a 5-speed manual gearbox only, but with the Fronx, you also get the option of a 6-speed torque converter automatic, which is the same gearbox that Maruti puts in the XL6 and the Brezza. Bookings for the Fronx are already open, although at this point, we do not know what the pricing is going to be like. Now we expect the 1.2 liter variants to come with a premium of around a lakh or so more than the equivalent Baleno variants. But that won't be the case with this 1 liter BoosterJet engine variant, because this engine after all is very expensive to make. Also, we have seen that there is a big price difference between the manual and automatic versions of the XL6 and the Brezza. So it will be safe to assume that this 1 liter BoosterJet engine Fronx with the torque converter automatic will carry a big premium over the 1.2 liter naturally aspirated versions with the AMT gearbox.